since Brandon's been in the band, which is pretty much, I would say, the actual start of the band.
They were looking for a guitarist, and I tried out, and we went from there. Well, we put out an EP on Big Love Records. Then we wrote Downward Years to Come together, and that came out on A389.
It always starts out with me and him with a riff or two. It's usually him with the riff. I kind of help with like constructing the song, but for the main part I do write most of the lyrics. It's like the one thing that I'm pretty fussy about.
Been through a lot of member changes.
They did one more tour with their previous drummer, and then things were going real south, and they asked me to pretty much bail them out and record drums on their record. I learned all the songs in like a couple of days. After recording the record, it didn't take much convincing for them to get me to join the band. They kind of like hoped I was going to do it because they didn't really have any other options.
Jeff Ziegler, I mean, he's the man. He rules.
We wanted to record the whole record analog, and we knew he was really good at that, so we went to his studio and didn't leave for a very long time.
I was there for like the whole mixing thing every day. I think everyone was super anal about like what was going on, you know, in terms of how they wanted things to sound and like how certain parts should be.
Brandon hears like notes that I don't hear when we record something, and he'll literally like lose his shit, and I won't even be able to hear it, but it'll be like the tiniest bit off of something and he can hear it. Even the producers, several producers we worked with, he'll hear something and they won't even hear it, and it's like, it's crazy.
It was literally hours and hours of mixing, like sitting on a couch and just playing the same stuff back and forth and being like, oh, this snare, like it's too tiny, like it sounds like a paper plate. I remember Brandon said that, and he was just like so stressed, but like it was like he kept his cool the whole time, and he was like pretty understanding in that aspect, which is good, I think.
On tour, we always seem to like get ourselves into situations where we drive for massive amounts of miles, go crazy.
Going on tour, just a mess, pretty much. Everyone's kind of falling apart all the time. Lots of hijinks along the way, kind of making each other miserable, but having a great time simultaneously.
Live shows are always like the most important for me. Playing in hardcore and punk bands, like I still always want to keep that energy alive. So like any way that we can affect the crowd in a way that they're actually going to take home and remember. I mean, you see all this bullshit like all the time with bands. Like you watch shows, like there's not a band that I can watch, and I love a ton of bands, but I don't think I could watch anybody longer than like 45 minutes. So I mean, like we try to keep our sets to like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and you know, we try to like make it as entertaining as possible.
I don't know, as long as the energy's there, I think on stage, as long as people in the crowd are feeling it, then, you know, I think everybody feeds off of that 100%. Me and Kyle lock in, like the first time I ever played with him, it's a super solid rhythm section, probably the best rhythm section in rock and roll.
Pretty much the best rhythm section in rock and roll right now, so McCartney and Starr better watch out.
I don't know, since the Beatles or the Smiths or Oasis.
We're coming for them.
I had an idea for the music video for Bent Nail, where the song was like heavily about being like useless in the world and kind of like self-abusive. So I came up with a concept that kind of we'd be playing live at a venue, and everyone would just kind of be standing around like bummed out that we're like even playing. Eventually bombard us, hit us with fruit.
People throwing fruit and like vegetables and shit and eggs at us.
We were lucky enough to get Don Arjot, great person to work with. He's done like Art of the Steel, the Pentagram documentary.
He came in with like a crew, which was insane to me. We had to wake up at like 5 a.m.
So professional. I've never worked with anyone so like on point. Actually, for the first time, like transferring the idea and was able to make it like so it was perfect, like exactly how I envisioned it to be. It was cool.